Hey guys, welcome to Edmonton Oilers franchise. This is episode number 43. And today we're looking at the off-season. You see the Pittsburgh Penguins won their back-to-back Stanley Cup Finals championship. As we look at the season ticket drive update, we're up in the 89 percentile range in all four suites, upper bowl, lower bowl, and club seats. And I'm just going to keep the ticket prices the same going forward. The draft lottery results, you see the New Jersey Devils, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Philadelphia Flyers get the top three in the lottery. The owner goals evaluated from last season. We sold 75% of the available suites this year. We failed in our concession upgrades and things like that. I just overlooked them. I was concentrating a little too much on just playing games. Here's the retired players from last season. Jarome Iginla hangs them up. So does Patrick Marleau, Patrick Elias, Pavel Datsyuk, Shane Doan, Alex Tanguay. Marian Gaborik hangs them up as well as Mike Ribeiro, Danny Heatley as well, and Mark Savard. As we look at some of the bigger name players that are calling it quits, Chris Pronger, Martin Havlat, Dinas Zubras, and a big one here for the Bruins, Dano Chara, hangs them up as well. Carrie Underwood's going to see a little bit more of Mike Fisher these days. Tomas Kaberle, Brian Gionta, Brian Campbell, and Brad Boyes also hanging them up as we look at the retired players there. Michael Handzus, Mark Street, and Jarrett Stoll, as well as Johan Franzen and Nicholas Kronwall. Alright, on to the NHL entry draft. We'll look at the first several picks here. As you can see, the Devils get the first overall pick. Our first pick will come in the first round, pick number 22. And we'll go to that point as we look at some of the players that we suspect to be around in our opportunities to draft. There, Ian Scott, he is probably number one on my big board as far as players that could be around, possibly, when I draft at number 22. Brent McDonald as well. Juuso Valimaki, would like to pick up him if he's available. We'll just have to see who, if any, of these guys are available. As you see, the New Jersey Devils pick up Liljegren, a two-way defender, with the first overall pick. Comtois goes to the Blue Jackets. He is a left-wing playmaker. With pick number 2, Vesalainen to the Flyers. Patrick to the Avalanche. With the 5th pick, Rasmussen goes to the Carolina Hurricanes. Popagev goes to the Sabres. With the Anaheim Ducks on the clock, they take centerman Velarde. Sorry guys, I don't know these guys' first names. Probably will learn them as they play in the league. Strome to the Phoenix Coyotes. Foote to the Toronto Maple Leafs, a defenseman. With the 10th pick, Kasparaitis, a goaltender, goes to the Islanders. And we're really in the market for a goaltender here. Was really displeased with the performance of Cam Talbot in the playoffs. And I had hoped to be able to replace him somehow. It probably wouldn't be with this year's draft, but wouldn't mind getting a goaltender. And there goes Scott off the board with the 14th pick, so he doesn't last at 22. He was first on my big board, the hybrid goaltender from Canada. Kriski goes to the Washington Capitals. Luukkonen, another goaltender, goes to the Ottawa Senators. Skinner to the Red Wings with pick number 17. The Boston Bruins get Cheney, a two-way defender, with pick number 18. And Calgary gets Juuso Valimaki. That's a guy I was really high on and looking at with the 19th pick. Storm goes to the Wild with the 20th pick. Minulin goes with the 21st pick to the Preds. So guys, there's not a lot of players left here that I was really looking at for that first pick. I might have been looking at guys that went too high. Vakanainen I looked at a little bit. And I think that's who we're going to go with here is Vakanainen. will be our first pick in the first round of the draft. Now, we don't have a second round pick. And we'll go ahead and go on to the third round, where we make our third round pick of Alexandrov. In the fourth round, we'll go with Korobov, a right-wing sniper. And I don't think we're getting anybody in this draft that's going to make much of an immediate impact. Might be a few years down the road before anybody. George Griffith here we'll take with our fifth round pick. When it came down to making a choice between players that I had scouted really well and players that I hadn't, even if I was taking them around earlier than they might have been expected to go, I went with players that I had at least scouted well and knew what I was getting. Sawchenko in the 6th round, and our final and 7th round pick will be Ivan Mongo. And we'll see which of these draft picks we're able to sign. As we're on to the free agent portion of the offseason, you see guys who have accepted offers from us to stay with us. We lose Dylan Wells there, an offer rejected. Not a huge loss, it doesn't look like. He was an AHL starter potential. Markus Niemelainen has accepted our offer, and he has some potential down the road. Mongo, the 7th round pick, rejects our offer. We'll let him walk. Sawchenko, the 6th round pick, he signs. Tyler Benson, he signs. Vakanainen and Svoboda, his offer is rejected. George Griffith rejected. Ruslan Alexandrov, we'll keep him on the roster. He is a rookie, and he will play with the Condors. Now, free agent goaltender that we would really like to pick up here is Ben Bishop, and honestly, looking at the goaltenders, Ben Bishop was probably the only one that was an upgrade from Cam Talbot, despite Cam Talbot's poor performance in the playoffs, and I think that Ben Bishop might just be a little bit out of our price range. We don't want to go that high, so we're going to try to add some depth with a few veterans on maybe each of our lines, or a couple of our lines anyway. We're going to go ahead and offer Yuri Talusti a contract as a left winger. So Yuri Talusti. We're looking at Roman Polak. I think we will pass on him. I like our defensemen the way they are, probably. I certainly wouldn't mind getting Oduya, that's for sure. But we'll go ahead and concentrate now on the scoring, as it was the scoring in the postseason, in the playoffs, that really gave us fits. That and our goaltending, of course. Some of the big names available, TJ Oshie, Nino Niederreiter, Justin Williams, PK Parento, and Alex Chiasson. This is a veteran guy that we might be able to add. Let's go ahead and see if we can't offer Alex Chiasson a contract and see where we get with it. So that's a quality veteran that I wouldn't mind adding to the right wing on one of my lines. So we'll go ahead and offer Chiasson a contract, a 2-year deal worth $1.85 million. And obviously a one-way contract. He's a veteran and will stay up with us the whole time. And maybe let's add one centerman. Just a veteran guy. I really like the idea of Brian Boyle maybe as the 4th-line centerman. So we're going to go ahead and look at Brian Boyle. He's 32. He's a good veteran. He's been there before with Tampa Bay. And somebody that could step into a playoff situation and be a little bit of a leader and keep everybody calm in the postseason, because Our goal is definitely to make it past the first round this coming season. Anything less than that would be considered a failure, I would imagine. Alex Jason accepts our offer, so we add him. So does Brian Boyle and Yuri Tolusti. All three of them accept our offer. So we're going to go ahead and call that a successful free agent signing in the offseason. As we look at the owner goals, the first one is earn $30.67 million of our expected profit. Thinks the team could compete a 40-win season. I'd be very disappointed if we didn't get a 40-win season. Upgrade the team store. And we need better parking, so upgrade the parking. That's all stuff we can do. I don't think it will be too hard to achieve all four of those goals, and hopefully I'll remember to pay attention to them as the season goes on. A quick look at our lines before we head into the 2017-2018 season. You've got Lucic, McDavid, and Eberle on the McDavid line. The Nugent-Hopkins line is Pouliot, and we'll throw Yuri Tolusti on the right wing. The Draisaitl line, Alex Chiasson and Patrick Maroon. That should be a good third line. And Brian Boyle, the centerman, on the fourth line, along with Taylor Beck and Zach Kassian. A physical fourth line with a veteran leader there in Brian Boyle. The defense pairings, Oscar Klefbom and Adam Larson. The first pairing, Thane and Sekera. The second and the third, Davidson and Griffin Reinhart. For the third, as we look at the goaltenders, we have Cam Talbot still. Hopefully 1 year in the playoffs will help give him the experience he needs to perform better next year in the playoffs. And Gustafsson is our backup. Healthy scratches, Victor Stahlberg, Mark Letestu, and Pakarinen. So join us next episode as we get the 2017-18 season underway. And as always, if you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, share. It's very much appreciated, and we'll catch you next time here on Edmonton Oilers Franchise.